Hey, sixth graders, Mrs. Simonson here. Tonight we are continuing our work with ratios and rates by covering proportions. You can see we have three objectives. They're very similar as they've been the same objectives as the last couple of nights. So the first is to identify and use rates to compare quantities. Second is to find the rate for ratios of quantities with different units. And the third is to use knowledge of how multiplication and division kind of work in to solve rate problems. Let's go ahead and get started. First thing we need to understand is what is a proportion. A proportion is simply an equation that shows two equal rates. For example, 10 is to 12 as 5 is to 6. Those are equal to each other, so they are proportions. But if I have two rates like 18 is to 10 as 5 is to 2, those aren't equal to each other, therefore they're not proportions, or we'll call that not proportional. There's a really simple way to find out if two rates are equal to each other, and it's called cross products method. Here's how it works. You multiply the top of one rate by the bottom of another rate. So 16 times 15 is 240. And then you multiply the other top of the rate with the other bottom of a rate. And 24 times 10 is also 240. If the two products are equal to each other, then the two rates are equal to each other. Why don't you go ahead and give it a try. Solve problems number 1 and 2 in your math notebook using the cross products method. Press play when you're ready to see the answers. The cross products method can also come in handy beyond just trying to find out if two rates are proportions. We can use cross products to solve rate problems where one part of the rate is missing. Let me explain it using these two rates. 9 is to 12 as something is to 20. Let's say I have 9 birds that fly by a window every 12 minutes, and assuming that same rate, I can calculate how many birds would fly by the window in 20 minutes. First thing I do is use cross products to set up an equation. So 9 times 20 is equal to n times 12. Second step is to multiply the 9 and 20 together. So 9 times 20 is 180. 180 is going to be equal to n times 12. Step 3 is to divide both sides by the number that's being multiplied by the variable, in this case 12. Dividing both sides. So 12 divided by 12 is 1, so on this side I just have n, and 180 divided by 12 is 15. Therefore, n is equal to 15. My missing term would be 15. So 9 is to 12 as 15 is to 20. All right, give this a practice in your notebook. Solve problems number 3 and 4 using cross products to complete the proportions. Press play when you're ready to check your work. So this same skill can be applied to several different types of word problems. So let's say we have Carol. She spends 17 hours in a 2-week period practicing her culinary skills. So 17 is to 2. And the question is asking us how many hours does she practice in 5 weeks. So let's use n is to 5. Now I can go ahead up and set my equation. 17 times 5 is equal to n times 2. Multiply the two factors together. 17 times 5 is 85. 85 is equal to n times 2. Now I'm going to divide each of them by 2. N would then equal 42 and a half. So in 5 weeks, Carol would spend 42 and a half hours. All right, now try to apply that same skill by using your notebook to solve numbers 5 and 6. Press play when you're ready to see your work. All right, although tonight's lesson was pretty short, it has a lot of really important information. The cross products methods to solve missing parts of proportions or to apply them to word problems is a significant standard in 6th grade, so you want to make sure you've got it mastered. Review any part of this video, and then when you're ready, take the quiz at Schoology. See ya!